Where? Yes, sir.
Bob Cernick,
You want to come up to the mic?
I don't have to go.
Well, would you stand and come up so everybody can hear you?
Bob Cernick, 45 Old Hollyville
You
Road.
might want to face the body if you want to come up to the mic.
No, I'm going to direct the question to you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to possibly see whether the town council can read the exact verbatim wording in the town charter, which specifically states that this special town meeting can only recommend the Board of Selectmen. I would like that verbatim read, just for my own edification.
All right, did you hear the question, Mr. Town Council?
Yes, I did.
All right. You want to hand him the mic so people can hear his reply? The question from Mr. Cernick, if you did not hear it in the back, was he wanted Town Council to give the exact language in the Town Charter, which pertaining to the Board of Selectmen and the passing of ordinances.
Under C44, Power to Enact Ordinances, A, it says the Board of Selectmen shall have the legislative power to enact ordinances consistent with the Connecticut General Statutes and the Charter on any matter which the Connecticut General Statutes and the Charter shall direct by ordinance and in general for preservation of the good order, health, welfare, safety of the town and its inhabitants. That's what it says under the Board of Selectmen, that they have the legislative authority to do the ordinance. If you go to town meeting under Article 66-1, composition, it says the legislative powers of the town shall be vested in the town meeting as provided by this article and in the Board of Selectmen as specified in C44 of this charter. They specifically say the legislative body under C44, which is ordinances, is the Board of Selectmen.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to direct a question to the town council.
Go ahead.
The question is that there's a specific section in the town charter that is more specific to the powers of and authority of the special town meeting that this man has petitioned for. It's in the town charter. It outlines the measures by which a special town meeting can be called by the legislative body and what the specific limitations and the powers of that legislative town meeting. It's in your charter. I mean,
it's limited.
But can you read the verbatim of that? No, that's not the paragraph.
It said the legislative powers of the town shall be vested in town meeting as provided by this article and in the Board of Selectmen as specified in C44. C44 only talks about the passing of ordinances in the town of Bethel. So in the section regarding the town meeting, they're deferring and saying that it's the Board of Selectmen that do it.
But there's a section in the town charter, and believe me,
can you refer to the specific one that would show?
I don't have the town charter with me, but I know the town charter very well. There's a specific section, and Billy might know it, which outlines the procedures by which a legislative and elector can petition for a special town meeting, and it also outlines the reasons for that particular thing. Maybe Billy can clarify that.
Well, let me just respond to that. There's no question that any town elector can petition for a town meeting. There's no doubt about that. That's why we're here. But that doesn't mean whatever the town meeting decides to do is going to become law in the town of Bethel. You can have a special town meeting to protest anything you want. You know, the war in Iraq, anything, the war in Afghanistan. But the town doesn't have any authority to act on it, and that's what we have here. We have a situation where the only parties that can act in this matter are the Board of Selectmen. Now, whether or not they choose to listen to the town meeting is up to them, all right? But he can call a town meeting. If he can get the signatures, he can have a town meeting at any time to discuss any subject at all. That doesn't mean it's going to be binding on the town.
But there's a section in the town charter which...
You're going to have to refer to the specific section for clarity. Yes, sir.
Is there a town charter in our present?
Right here, Mr. Yes.
Because, as Mr. Cernick said, we used a different part of the charter, and it was very well drawn out, and it said an ordinance can be passed, and it said...
Could you find that?
Yeah.
While they're looking at the town charters, anyone else who wishes to speak on the amendment?
Where's the small one? This is the lawyer version.
Mr. Glahn, just come up here.
It's a 26-page version. There you go.
All right, we have a speaker coming up that wishes to speak on the amendment. Name and address, sir. You got to speak into that mic now.
David Glahn, 9 Elizabeth Street, Bethel, Connecticut. I want to just say one thing. A few months ago, I saw the Ten Commandments. And I believe in the Ten Commandments, they had a petition going around because there was something wrong. here we are in the year 2012, and a petition is before our hands because there's something wrong. In this body, I believe, should have the right to be participant in the change, not just the Board of Selectmen. So I support the amendment that is being discussed tonight. And if it does fall where our voices mean nothing, and it falls in just the hands of the selectmen, which is just 3 people to represent 30,000 people, I hope they choose to listen to the people's thoughts that are here tonight, which are positive thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone else that wishes to speak on the amendment? Mr. Michael has spoken. Anyone else before we get people who've spoken once already on the amendment? Anyone else?
Can we clarify this issue that we've already talked of?
You want a clarification of what was asked by the other gentleman? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying? Oh, is that what you want to refer to? Go ahead to the mic.
This is the chapter of the charter that we've been following since October through the auspices of our town attorney. Petition for a special town meeting. This is in our charter, and it's a beautiful, fabulous thing. A petition for a... Point of order?
Can you read the number?
C6-6. This is what we followed. A petition for a special town meeting may be filed by any elector of the town with the town clerk. Such petition shall contain the full text of the proposal, which we're debating, and shall be signed in ink by indelible pencil by qualified voters equal to at least 5% of the total electors of the town. That's our 544. Such petition shall be accompanied by affidavits signed and sworn by each circulator. Those of you who went to Lisa Berg, you signed those we did that. We did all that legally. The town clerk shall not later than the close of the business of the 3rd day after the last receipt of the pages. Al was the 544th. We got him in the barber shop. We got him to sign it. Whether the petition and the affidavits are sufficient. And with petition was sent to the Board of Selectmen. Upon receipt of the certification by the town clerk, the Board of Selectmen shall call a special town meeting to be held not less than 10 nor more than 30 days. This is where we are right now. Matt took care of that beautifully. The call for such a special town meeting shall state the proposal in full and shall provide for a yes or no vote, which is exactly where we are. If a majority of those voting yes, then if a majority of those vote yes, then such a proposal will take effect the 10th day thereafter. This was the section of the charter that I believe that this would enact. Now, Marty explained that we as a town meeting assemble, while we have access to this series of law, the town meeting still doesn't have the power to enact an ordinance. It has to go through the Board of Selectmen, which is why Marty made sure that the meeting statement said, compel and urge the selectmen to enact a resolution. And Marty was in the fog of war. That may have been lost, and I'm guilty of that. But Marty made it clear that it's a resolution to enact to compel and urge the selectmen to enact a resolution.
Ordinance.
But an ordinance. Enact an ordinance. But here, this was the thing. The reason we're correcting form ordinance, C6-7, the town attorney is authorized to correct such form of the ordinance for the purpose of avoiding repetitions, illegalities, and unconstitutional provisions, and to assure accuracy in its text and reference and clearness and preciseness, but not materially changing its meaning and effect. And that's why Michael Duff asked to amend the call, because I believe changing the words to consider and recommend materially change the meaning and effect of what you all signed. So that's where we are. This is what we use, and maybe Marty wants to weigh in on this.
I just want to say that this is the section of the charter you follow.
Yeah.
It's like I said, if you don't have the authority, there's nothing that can be done.
Right.
What's going to happen is if this town meeting votes for your petition, what it basically is, it's telling the Board of Selectmen that this body would like an ordinance regarding this matter. That's what you're voting on tonight. Okay?
All right, you've heard the legal discussion from the petitioner and the town council, and the amendment basically strengthens or makes more forceful the language of the resolution, and that's the purpose, I believe, of Mr. Duff's motion.
Call the vote.